Hi, Swimming in
Okay.
Stars. We are live here with an amazing healer, my dear friend Eve James, and she's here to tell you all about her
Hi.
practice. Welcome, Eve.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You look so very
Exciting.
lovely, I have to say.
Thanks. Um, oh, this is exciting. I've been anxious to do this, to have this chat with you today. And we talked about um, keeping it professional.
Well, we're both
So,
Sagittarius, so for those that don't know, we got the Saggy Sag.
edge, we get a little wild.
Saggy Sag.
Try to keep it kind of
Keep
uh,
it
in the,
in the
keep it
box.
in the, no.
No, not in
Um,
the box.
Not in the box.
We
I
crushed
can
those
never do
long ago.
on the streets. People have
Right.
seen us
Yeah.
cross the street. Uh, um, so hi, I'm Eve James, and I work out of Evergreen, Colorado. Do Reiki, massage, chakra alignment, balancing. We can talk a little bit about that. I'll give you guys a little heart chakra thing later. Give it to you. You can do it. I don't even know why. Um, well, I know why that. I don't know why the dancing. Actually, I do, but it's fine. Um, I do. I I'm an intuitive reader and facilitator for healing. And we talk a lot about, are you a healer or what is it? And I just, it's like a download that comes in and then allows space for the client to heal. Um, so I just hold that space for them uh, with the energy, and then they find themselves in their own healing process. I am a medium, and that gets interesting sometimes out in the public because things come through and you don't get to, you, there's no filter, right? So things come through, and then you're left with, you can try to ignore it. And
Right.
then sometimes spirits like, say it, say it, say, and they're like, it's like they're pounding at your door, and you're like, I'm not going to say it because this person did not ask for a reading. Say it anyway. So then I say it, and inevitably, the person is, relieved or happy, or, we hug it out. There are tears or thank yous, whatever. It's always healing. So um, I do that. And yeah, I utilize essential oils in my business, in my practice. And I also happen to be a performing arts teacher, and I do drama therapy with clients. And yeah, I guess those are the things.
That's so awesome. I love the people I've been talking about recently and talking with, I mean, recently. It's so cool how, like, I feel like historically there used to be this thing where I do this one tiny little thing and it's very focused and it's very niche and it's sort of just like I am a bebop jazz violinist who only plays acoustically. And that's my only thing.
Right.
And it's so
Yeah.
narrow. And I feel like it used to be like that meant you're an expert. And that means you're somebody we can trust because you only do Reiki or you only do astrology. And I feel like that paradigm has shifted and turned on his head because we're faced with so many challenges, so many people, so many modalities, all of us in our lives that it's sort of like, okay, well, I'm going to build a house with a screwdriver. Here you go. Well, I can't build a house with a
Right.
screwdriver. And so I love when healers are like, I do this and I do that, and I'm expressive in the arts. And I feel like all of that is connected and it's a language. And everybody I've been talking to, there isn't just one little thing, there's all these things that we do to connect and to heal and to express and to find out what needs to come up and come out. And whether that's a mediumship experience or being on the stage, like all of those things can bring up what needs to be healed. And so I'm so happy to hear you speak about it that way.
100%. You know, the thing is once you open, once you've opened to channel or to universe or to energy source, um, and as an intuitive empath, whatever comes into my space, I just use whatever works for that client or that person or that classroom when I'm teaching. You know, I don't have set lesson plans. It's really what do the kids need that day? What does the client need that day? And then however I can get there, we're gonna use that. Because although, yeah, I know what you mean, and I agree. And that's not to say that there are those that really, you know, like to specialize in what they do. Um,
Right.
I think there are those as well. That's just not how I work. I just sort of intuitively gather. I gather the troops, and we go in and we get it done.
Getting that done with the troops.
Getting it done with the troops, y'all.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what type of, what type of help you give clients, as far as specific services or where they can find you. And I love that you say that you're like asking how can I help, basically, right? One of my favorite astrologers, that's how he starts every reading. How can I help you today? As opposed to like, let me tell you about your Mars and your Pluto and your, it's like, well, I don't want to know about my freaking Pluto. I like my relationship is on the rock. So, okay, let me help with that. And I just
Yeah.
want to encourage everyone. Like, I just feel like it's a time in the world where, I don't know. I just feel like that, like every day, like, how can I help? What do you need? What can I do to help? And it's a
Yeah.
time where our healing modalities can be, I don't know, we're both teachers, right? So it's a
Mhm.
time when we can trickle out. And I always want to be available to teach people part of what I do. So, where can we learn about what you do, and where can we interact with you, personally, on your page or wherever? Where are you in the world?
I'm on the Facebook, Eve James, Art of Healing. And through there, that's the easiest way. Through
Okay,
there, there's the link to my website and the services that I provide. And I have a Facebook group, Art of
cool.
Healing Eve James, that you can, you know, I want to encourage you, go on there, ask me questions about manifestation, ask me questions about um, what it is that you are interested in today. You know, you were talking about how can I help? For me, that's the, mm, that's my intention. But sometimes I ask, what is your intention? What is your intention in this reading today? What do
Right,
you intend to happen? And sometimes that's what happens then. But sometimes that's not what spirit wants. That's not spirit's intention. You
right.
can't change spirit's intention. You cannot.
Don't
Spirit
go there.
has a voice, and spirit comes through very clearly with that voice. And it's my job as facilitator to adhere to that as best I can. Otherwise, there's a conflict,
Right.
right? And either spirit will get really more intense, or they'll go away. Then so realize that I'm not going to speak their truth, and they're big into that truth piece.
Absolutely.
Um, so, you know, but whenever I go into it, I always ask that whatever comes through is for the greatest and highest good for all, not just the client or who I'm talking to or myself or whatever, but for everybody involved. And they always adhere to that. That's the one thing that they will listen to.
I like to
But
use that
yeah,
too. I love that. Highest good for all, highest healing for all, highest opening for all, whatever the highest thing that needs to happen, the highest umbrella,
yeah.
for all. Do you have something, an exercise or a tip or something that, you could share with our listeners or our viewers, that's something they could do on their own without even having had a session with you, that might just, I don't know, be something that they could
Yeah.
take with them today?
I have a couple. One thing I've been working with a lot through the um, past couple of months since March, since the craziness began, is this. Um, I think as a teacher, I've been at a computer there's been a lot of computer usage, and I'm not, that's not, that's not the mode in which I
Not
like
the
to work.
fave.
You know? Yeah, it's not my, I mean, it is what it is, and we do what we do, but I like to be with the people. That's my
Mhm.
thing. But in doing that, I found that I started to get a little, in and, and that, and so I've been working a lot with my heart chakra. And so we could do a little heart chakra exercise if you want.
I would love to. It's align with
So
the heart.
let me just, yeah, so I got to tilt this down a little bit so you can see. Okay, so we talk about, heart. When you're little, when you're a kid, and as you're going through your teen angst, and then you get into your high school, and then you start noticing the people that you're attracted to, right? And then you go into your college years and you experiment with all of that, and then you go, you go on in life with that heart, and either heart is your love of work, or your love of nature, or your love of other, or your love of self, or your love of your children, or all of these loves, right? And uh I knew it. I mean, I've known this for a long time, but I don't know, something in this time and space, I just had, my head was telling me that the heart was something other than it was. And I'm like, hold up, we got to take a minute. And so I looked at that. And the heart chakra is an air, right? It's not fire. And we do red, red heart. We do red, but it's air.
I always
And
think
it's
of it
this,
as like green and earth. So it's
yeah, but I
interesting.
mean, I'm talking traditional heart.
Yeah.
When you send a heart to some, I love you, you do a
Yeah.
red heart, and it's the love, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like this passion, this intense, this but it's not in the chakra system.
Right.
It's green, yeah. And it's air. And so there's this asana, this that you can do. So if you take your hands like this and you set them on your heart center, yes. And then you're going to interlace all of your fingers, the the bottom three, yeah. And then you're going to cross over your pointer fingers and grab your thumbs, yeah. So that's the idea of it, but you're going to do it the other way, okay? So that's like because it's easier for me to visualize that way. So now put your hands back to back and do the fingers, right? It's just easier to think of it the other way. Oh, my hands are not cooperating today. And then, oh my God, I'm not doing it. They're literally, wait, I got to do it this way. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've got your, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So if you set that at your heart center, the asana, and you breathe in, you've got two spaces, the circles.
Yep.
One you let in the air, and the other you let out the air. And so if we just sit with that, we take one big breath in and let it out. And on that exhale, you just remember that you let it go too. You let it in, but you also let it go. And whatever is meant to be comes right back into you. And whatever is not stays out. Yeah? So let's try another one. And exhale. Ooh, it lightens it up. Try one more. Ooh, I like it. I find that it just lightens it. Did it lighten for you?
It feels like
It feels like,
there's a air vent or an air shaft that runs through where it is now open and it can
yeah,
cycle through.
Yeah. And that's what I love about it, because this, all these poets, uh, all these, for eons have written about, oh, the love of my life, or the love of this, or I'm so, and sometimes they talk about, I just, I want to like grab onto it and never let it go. And then the others are like, no, if you let it go and it comes back, that's meant to be.
Right.
That's what's meant to be, not what you're grasping on for dear life with. It's that you let go, and all of a sudden, hi, it comes back. And
Right.
it's for everything. It's for every single thing. A color that you like, a shirt that you like, and you see it in the store, and then you're like, oh, I think I'll pass on that this time. And then the next time you come in the store, now it's hanging in the front of the thing, basically beaming lights at you saying, buy me now, and it's on sale for $3. And you buy it because it's meant to be, like, yeah. And it's that uh cyclical circle, right? And I talk about that when I teach voice, that the breath, the breath is a circle. It's not you take in and then you hold it and then you sing, right? You breathe in, ah, ah, and you let it right out again. It's just, that has helped me get through all of whatever this craziness is, because there's
Absolutely.
no holding on to anything in this. There's
No.
no holding on.
There's
No.
too much
And
packed in to hold
so
on
yeah, so
also.
that's too much. Yeah. Yeah, we got to let some of that go,
Yep.
right? Like,
Yes.
we got to let some of that go. Yeah. So that's one thing. The other thing, I was helping a client the other day. They were asking about manifestation. And for some reason, well, years ago, like, I want to say when it first came out or shortly thereafter, The Secret,
Yeah, The Secret.
the manifestation, The Secret, I was like, what is this? What does this mean? And I'm like, well, it can't. I mean, somebody wrote a book. They did a whole like doc video thing. So maybe I
Yeah,
should
yeah.
just try it just for kicks.
For giggles.
Oh, it's for giggles. So I tried it, and I'm telling you, I I'm not a perfectionist at this by any stretch of the imagination, but I have found some truths with it.
Right.
And one of the truths is um, that you do need to be specific.
Yep.
So manifestation, be specific about what it is you want. Include the make sure that it's for the greatest and highest good of
Yep.
all involved. Add that. But then the next thing that people forget, or they don't even know about, or maybe they do know about, but they forget.
Yeah.
So that's forget twice. Um, is, is that spirit does not work in our time frame. They don't live on our clock.
Right.
So you have to tell spirit, you have to be specific on a time frame for spirit,
Mm.
because they don't get it. And so a lot of us want to manifest something, but we don't tell spirit when we need it, when
Right.
we want it, when we would like to have it arrive. We don't. And then so it doesn't come. It doesn't come, it doesn't come, it doesn't. You're like, oh my gosh, seriously? What am I waiting? It's not working.
Right.
We check our watches. Who wears watches now? We always use our phones.
Yeah. Check our phones.
Anyway, so be specific, greatest to highest good. Tell spirit a time frame in which you would like to receive. Then the next thing is as important. I wouldn't say more important, but all of these are really important. State to spirit, hey, I would like to have this by Friday at noon, and I would like you to show it to me. Give me a sign that only I will recognize,
Right.
and in such a way that I will recognize it. So you have to add that, because otherwise spirit's going to be like, hey, I gave you signs, but you didn't ask for them to be specifically for you.
Right.
You have to ask them. They want to help you. They're there to help you. They're excited to do so. And then your job, you can't just then leave it be. No. Now your job is to pay attention.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking like, oh, pay attention, listen. Listen to what people are telling you. Listen to the radio. Listen to a car honking in the distance, warning or inviting. Listen to the elk that's crossing the street at the slowest possible pace and you're having to wait. What is that? Why am I waiting? Listen to that. And then when you recognize the light flickers, the door creaks, the song plays, the person says something to you and you're like, oh, wait a minute. The dream, whatever it is, the instasecond that you recognize it, you must say out loud, thank you, I saw the sign. You have to thank them because they're going to be like, well, I don't know if they're getting the signs or not. I don't know what's happening with them, these people, right? Tell them, I heard you, I saw that sign, give me another one so that, right? And now you're on the path. Now you're on your way of the manifesting. And it, you know, it comes, in my life, I've manifested gigantic things. I mean, I've manifested tiny things, small things. And I'm telling you, things will come out of thin air. Out of thin air. I was teaching once and we wear lanyards and then you have your little key ring and then you have your ID and your keys and whatever you have hanging off of your lanyard.
Right.
Lanyard. I just wanted to say it again.
Lanyard. Landed
So
on
lanyard. So my key ring thing on my lanyard broke one day and I'm teaching. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have pockets, right?
Yep.
I don't wear pockets. So I'm like, I got my keys, I got my ID, I need my keys to my door. What am I going to walk around with them? And I was frustrated. Remember, I was really frustrated. I'm like, that's it. And I'm like, I was going to go take a walk. I was going to do a walk off, right? You got to walk it off. But before I left walking it off. And before I left my classroom, I stated out loud, all right, Spirit, I need a key ring. I need it now. And I need it today.
Yeah.
Right? I'm gonna need you to give me a sign about the key ring. I want it for the greatest. I like I said it all like as a joke almost, because I'm like, seriously, a key ring? That's not gonna come out of whatever. Right? But I'm stating it anyway. You, Emery, I did a walk off. I came back into my classroom, unlocked the door. No, the door was not unlocked.
Right.
There was I have posted it in the past. I'll try to find the picture. They're sitting on the desk next to my desk was a key ring. I said, just sitting like they play. And I said, what? I said, I see you, universe. Right? I mean, it can be that small, like that's silly.
It's small, but it's huge because it's like affecting your whole day.
I needed it. It did affect my day, but I did all the things. I did them a little bit in anger, I'm not gonna lie, but I was like frustrated, not anger, just frustrated. But there it was, sitting there, almost, like giggling at me.
Yeah.
He may as well have had two eyes and a smiley face on the inside. Like, really, with the key ring? But little things like that,
Yep.
But you can utilize those things because the universe, the energy of universe runs through, right? Through us, in us, out of us, around all of the things. And you can harness that. That's our birthright. It's our birthright.
Yep.
To harness that.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. I do Reiki. You and I have done a soul retrieval.
Yep.
Before, which was,
amazing.
It's just amazing. Yeah. It was I was gonna say outstanding in its healing power, and not just for the client, for all of us.
Yep.
Because once you tap in,
Well, that's how healing arts are. It's always a reciprocity. I never am draining myself or my batteries. It's just I'm allowing that channel to be open and we both get to benefit. So it's always such a huge blessing in that way.
Yeah,
Well, we have a million more things we have to talk about, more Q&As, more talks, but we'll just say to be continued for today.
I like it.
And let's just send a little blessing out to anyone watching, anyone here in our group, anyone that's in our group that might watch later. We're just sending out love and support and kindness and seeing you in your journey together. And may you be able to manifest for your highest healing and highest good and the highest healing and highest good of the universe now and always. So may it be, so mote it be. Thank you so
Yes.
much, Miss Eve James. I am so honored to
Thank you,
be on this
Emery.
journey with you.
Likewise. This is awesome.